But are you ready for rapid fire?
You know I'm ready for rapid fire, baby. Let's do it.
All right. So, fill in the blank. As Notre Dame football continues its recent recruiting heater, it's blank that longtime recruiting guru Tom Lemming says Notre Dame defensive backs coach Mike Mickens is now, quote, the premier DBs coach in the country when you combine coaching and recruiting, end quote.
Long overdue. This has been the case, in my opinion, for the last few years. Now we're closer to it than obviously Lemming is because he's doing the entire country. And I know, like in the past, there was and I don't know everybody's names, and so that's on me. But like Nick Saban was a premier DBs coach, even though he was the head coach. There was the guy out at Washington, and I don't think he's there anymore, was the premier DB coach, in the country, that kind of a deal. So, Mickens should have been in the mix at that point, but he has absolutely, when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to coaching guys up, development, starting at Cincinnati, has just been knocking it out of the park, year in and year out. So I think this is long overdue. I agree with him completely. And I really hope, and I know they are, but I really hope Notre Dame's doing what they need to do to keep him in-house for as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you're just telling anyone who covers Notre Dame and anyone who follows Notre Dame fans who follow it closely, you're just telling everybody what they already know. It is nice to see someone with a national megaphone like this make a proclamation like that. But, like when you see him locking down these DBs
oh my gosh,
left and right, and you see how a guy, again, like a true freshman like Leonard Moore was able to jump right in and play last year, and you've got Benjamin Morrison, you've got Christian Gray, you've got this track record now already. And like you said, go back to Cincinnati, the fact that you can hang your hat on Sauce Gardner, like you were the guy who saw something in Sauce Gardner and turned him into a first-round draft pick. Like that's who Mike Mickens is. And that's what we've known all along. And that's why everyone starts sweating when the end of the season rolls around about whether or not he's going to stick around. There's a reason Texas wanted to poach him and get him down there, So, yeah, much deserved, but again, sort of preaching to the choir, I think.
Absolutely.
Around here, anyway. Fill in the blank. It's blank that former Notre Dame running back Kyren Williams comes in at number 85 in the NFL's top 100 players of 2025 list.
It is shocking if you would have told me this 2 years ago. Obviously he has gone out there and, I think he led the league in yards and he's done all these things in the NFL, which is like shocking, especially in the offense that he's playing in, because, when you think of the McVay offense and you think of, the Rams, you think of throwing the ball all over the place and doing all these different things. And he's out there racking up yards and doing his thing. And like when, he got put in the doghouse as a freshman, at Notre Dame, people kind of wrote him off. And then all of a sudden, he explodes and does his thing at Notre Dame. And then, he's still small and he's still this and he's still that. And then he goes to the NFL and dominates. It's like, I'd have thought you were crazy if you would have told me that, but good on him, man. Like, good on him. He is an easy guy to root for. I will say that. He is an easy guy to root for.
3 years ago, when Kyren Williams was drafted, 163 players were picked ahead of him before he finally went with 164th pick in the 5th round of the draft. And now, after 3 years in the league and back-to-back years of over 1,100 plus yards, he is considered the number 85 player in the NFL, which is actually down a little bit. He was number 78 last year. But again, like when you put it in the perspective of like, this guy was a 5th round pick, 164th overall, 2 years in a row now, he's considered a top 100 NFL player. I mean, it says something about him, and like Toonsa says, the guy just keeps coming at you, just a total baller, doesn't quit. But he had almost 1,300 yards and 14 touchdown runs last year. Those are good numbers no matter where you look. His yards per carry was down a little bit, but the team was better last year. And I think he's just going to keep getting better over the next few years. So obviously good for Kyren Williams. It's pretty awesome to see him, come in on a list like this 2 years in a row, because this is voted on by the NFL players.
Yeah. So they know. You know what I mean? It's not a popularity contest. It's a who do I not want to go up against is
Right.
is what that says. And
Yep.
it's a lot of respect, and I think that's awesome.
So what other former Irish players do you think will show up in the rest of the top 100?
So is this a thing where I'm guessing and you're going to tell me whether I'm right or wrong? Is that where we're at here?
They are releasing these week to week. So
okay,
as
gotcha.
of right now, we're just
Okay,
trying to guess together who
okay.
we think is going to show up as they keep releasing these. So yeah,
Kyle
I don't have they have not released the full list yet. They've released it's like 10 at a time over the last.
Because I haven't seen obviously anything yet, so I'm completely flying blind. But I would say Kyle Hamilton would be one. I think Harrison Smith is still one of the higher paid safeties in the league, so I feel like he's probably on that list as well. I think that Nelson will be on that list. I mean,
I agree.
He's still a premier guard in the NFL, so that's 3 guys for sure. Let's see, who else do you think would be on that list, Sean? Those are the 3 guys that come to mind right away. Martin would have been, but he retired.
Julian Love actually made it last year at number 95. So I'm curious to see. They have released up to number 79 so far. So that's as far as they've gotten so far. And it's like every week, this is going to continue like into August. They're going to slow play this whole thing until the season starts. Yeah. I think Kyle Hamilton and Quentin Nelson are locks. I'm a little bit, I don't like Harrison Smith. I don't know if he officially retired or if he was still talking about. But he was 93 last year. But I mean, this is still for last year. So I don't know exactly. But even if he plays, I feel like since he was 93 last year, like if he was going to show up, we might have already seen his name this year.
That's fair.
But he has been a guy who's consistently been on these lists, so like you weren't out of the ballpark by any means. I'm wondering, like, does Julian Love maybe jump up a little bit, or is his slot kind of passed already? I think that he is the final question. Hamilton and Quentin Nelson, I think, are locks. Obviously, there's no more Zach Martin because he did retire. I think Julian Love, outside of Hamilton and Nelson, probably has the most realistic chance of any former Notre Dame guy to show.
Is that it? Did I get everybody you thought?
I think you did.
Okay.
I think you did. Okay. Like Harrison Smith would be a question.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair because he's older. He's on the he's on the back
end.
Bit.
Yeah, he's slipped a little bit each of the last few years down to number 93 last year.
Yeah, so. he's on the back end of his career, and so I get all of that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's probably not going to be, a tight end on that list. I don't know that Michael Mayer has really made a name for himself just yet.
Yeah, Cole Kmet.
I mean, there's at least 3 tight ends that are starting in the league. Wright is up in Detroit still, I do believe. I don't know. He's tight end 2, but sometimes they start in double tights, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Trying to think of anybody else. But either way, you would hope that it would be a Notre Dame tight end on that list, but I don't know that there will be. You know what I mean? Like that's the only point I'm making.
Sure. I agree. All right. We're going to guess Purdue's season over/under win total. This one's a little bit different because we've predominantly done pretty good teams. Now we're going to do Purdue, a team that won 1 game last year.
Yeah.
So here's their schedule: Ball State, Southern Illinois, USC, at Notre Dame, Illinois, at Minnesota, at Northwestern, Rutgers, at Michigan, Ohio State, at Washington, and then they finish against Indiana. So what do you think Purdue's over/under is going to be for this season?
So if you remember last year, Sean, they put a whooping on Indiana State, which is a 1AA team, in the first game of the season. And as you had mentioned, that was their only win of the year.
That was it.
Now the rest of their games were Power 5 games, or Power 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm rapidly looking at the schedule correctly, and I believe I am. So they were all either Big Ten games, or they played Notre Dame, or they played Oregon State. So, they only had kind of one, layup game, if you will, right? One game that they should win, and they did win it handily. And they've got 2 of those this year in Ball State and Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois, I believe, is a 1AA, and obviously Ball State is a bottom feeder of the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
I think they get both of those games. And Ball State has a new coaching staff, a lot of turnover. And as much as I like Ball State, and as much as I'm cheering for our buddy Shaq Van, who's the wide receivers coach down there, I think the Boilers are just going to have too much talent to lose to Ball State. So I think they
brought in the UNLV coach. He had some success out there, but he's got a lot of work to do on this roster.
He's got a lot of work to do. And so, I mean, it's 2 brand new coaching staffs, obviously, in that first game. But again, sometimes it's just the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's. And that's how it was against Indiana State, right? Like
Purdue should have more talent than Ball State. Yeah.
And they should have more talent than Southern Illinois. And so I'm going to give them those 2 games. After that, I don't see an obvious win on this schedule. You could see a potential game against Northwestern. Maybe Rutgers. They're hosting Rutgers. They have to go on the road against Northwestern. I see 2 here, man. I see 2. I
agree. I think it's 2.5.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say 2.5. And if you're feeling lucky, you take the over on this one. Because like I said, maybe Rutgers, maybe Northwestern. If they get one of those, then it's the over. But I think it's 2.5, which is really sad.
I do too.
It's really sad.
It could be pretty ugly again when Purdue in that big drum comes to town this year.
The old drum.
Okay, so we're guessing Purdue's Vegas over/under. We use the FanDuel app to get our call. So we're locked in. We're both saying 2.5.
2.5.
Okay, here it is. 3.5 is what.
3.5. I'll take the under. I mean, just take the under.
Because I mean, they're setting it at 3.5. The over, you get plus 184 odds. There's no way they're winning 4 games.
No.
Under is minus 230.
So you're not getting any link. You're not.
This feels like a line that should be 2.5. Like,
you're not making any money by taking the under, because they anticipate that it's going to be the under. Like that's what that tells me. Oh my goodness gracious, that's they got to be celebrating if their line's at 3.5. Like,
I know.
Vegas believes. They believe.
Feel good,
in us.
Purdue. Feel good, Purdue. They feel good about
goodness. You. I like when Purdue's good. It's just they're not good, and that's the reality of the situation. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. They're just not a good football team.
It's going to be a while before they're good, because like they've got to get figured out is the NIL thing, especially compete because like they're competing with Indiana. Like that's who they're competing with. And Indiana obviously lapped them a couple times last year with the season that they had. And that's what Purdue's got to figure out. Like Kurt Signetti is complaining about their NIL down there at IU, but it's, from what I understand, it's a heck of a lot better than what Purdue's got going on right now.
Oh my gosh. They've got it not be.
Yeah, they've got to figure that out.
Because at least IU has something in the bucket to be like, hey, look what we did. Give us more money. And look, IU should be competitive with like the middle of the pack, Big Ten. There's some pretty high-end donors, in the IU world. It's just, do they want to give their money to basketball or do they want to give their money to football?
Right.
You know what I mean? So they'd have to figure all that out. But
I wonder how much money Mark Cuban gives.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
So I'm in the press box at the playoff game, and
did you?
Yeah, I think the broadcast school down there is named after him, if I'm not mistaken, like the Cuban whatever it is.
Really, he has nothing to do with broadcasting except the check. I'm sure got cashed.
Well, he was that's how he made his money. Was
What?
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was like a tech guru.
He was.
Oh, okay.
He was the guy who built. I can't remember if it was. I can't remember what the name of the website was now, but he's the guy who built the website so that basically, like, he didn't live, in Bloomington. He lived wherever he lived at that point. He built the website to stream games. So, like,
really?
Yeah. So, like, it's all a lot different, obviously, now.
Sure.
But he was like the first guy, built the website, to stream, games and all that kind of stuff, and broadcast rights to the different things, and he sold it, and that's how he made his first, however many millions of dollars. Broadcast something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. That's how it all. That's how it all started for Mr. Cuban.
I did not know that. I just thought he was like in the tech space, which obviously it would be, but like, yeah,
right.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. All right, we are officially in the deadest sports week of the year. Yep, there you go, Coach Vic. He sold it to Yahoo. I remember that Yahoo was involved, but I couldn't remember, like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he sold it to Yahoo for cash and stock options, and that's obviously worked out pretty well.
Now he's just a shock.
Yeah, that's right. So we're officially in the deadest sports week of the year. Baseball's All-Star break, and the Home Run Derby is tonight. Do you buy or sell the Derby as the best sporting event that is not an actual game?
So I was going to go the route of like the celebrity softball or like the celebrity basketball, but those are games. So I can't go there. Those are games. The NBA skills challenge is boring. The NHL
the
skills
slam dunk
challenge
competition
boring.
is just stupid now.
Right.
Yes, none of it's nearly as fun as it used to be.
If it was the 80s and early 90s, I would have said the slam dunk competition would be right up there with the home run derby, but it's just not anymore. And so there's really nothing that even holds a candle to the home run derby. And the home run derby, I feel like they've almost tweaked it too much, but I like the brackets and, things like that. It just seems like there's a lot, like it takes hours. It takes too long.
That's the only problem is it is fun to watch, especially the opening round, like when they've still got all their energy and they're just jacking them left and right. You're right. I forgot how they changed the format last year, but it does. Yeah. It's like a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
By the time it's all said and
it's
done.
Longer than games. Like, it's so long.
It is a little too much to see, but I have, like, it's a total buy for me because of what you said. Like the only, does the hot dog eating contest count? Like, would you count that? Like,
I don't know. That's kind of a game. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, it is better than any other exhibition that I can think of. Let's put it that way. Like, it's infinitely more interesting than, like you said, any of the NBA skills competition. It is infinitely more interesting than like what the Pro Bowl is doing now with the flag football games and their skill
Pro
competition.
Bowl is just cancel it. Just cancel the whole thing.
Yeah. A lot of people would say that it's more interesting than the actual All-Star game, which obviously comes tomorrow. So
I like the All-Star game still. I do. Just seeing different guys out there. I really like when they wear the different uniforms. And like, you see different guys out there. Like, I like the All-Star game. I do.
I think I remember hearing that, how they've, like, the last several years, they've had, like, the National League wears one uniform, the American League wears another. I think they might be going back to players wearing their actual uniforms.
Have they been wearing the National and American League uniforms?
Yeah, I know they wear some really bad ones last year. I don't know if you remember that.
I'm like sure I blocked it out of my mind. I know they always wear them on Home Run Derby night, but I thought they went back to regular uniforms on the actual game.
No.
Okay. There you go.
I'm going to bring this up for you to
jog my memory.
To jog your memory a little bit if I can blow this up. Yeah. So let's see.
And they're going to be in Atlanta. So that's a National League park, which means the Cubbies are going to be wearing their pinstripes, which is a good thing.
Jeez.
It's a very good thing.
So here's what they wore last year. Do you remember those?
Ooh. Well, that was in LA? Or no? Well, that was in Texas. Because there's a Texas logo.
Yeah. Because remember that there was also like a horrendous national anthem rendition. Like the woman, she was some country singer, and it was really off key, and apparently
I
she
do
was
remember that.
intoxicated and all that kind of stuff. So
I do remember that.
Yeah, these were the uniforms last year.
What are they this year?
Yeah,
not to
Anthony says they're going back to the actual uniforms. That's what I thought I heard.
They should. Like, I'm cool with them wearing the alternates.
Yeah.
You know, on Monday. That makes sense.
Right.
It's cool, right?
Yeah. So I think they're going back to like regular uniforms and then just like a standard hat or something like that. I think. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, they've had some pretty bad uniform options for the All-Star game the last few years. So I'm glad that they're doing that. Now, there is some All-Star controversy going on because a lot of people are upset that Brewers rookie pitcher Jacob Misiorowski has been added to the National League roster. People, including a lot of Philadelphia Phillies, are mad that he's on the team despite having made just 5 starts as a rookie this season. Are you in or out on Misiorowski making the All-Star game with that little experience, Vince?
I'm in. It doesn't bother me. I don't like if he's dominating those 5 starts or those 5 games that he's been in, then so be it. I assume he's a starter, correct?
Yeah, I mean he started. 5 starts. He started 5 games.
Okay, so he's a starter.
He's
so it's not like
4-1
he
with a 2.83 ERA. You know, more strikeouts than innings pitched. Fastball that averages a little under 100 miles an hour. He's 6'7", you know, so it's like, yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like that really doesn't bother me. Now, why are Philly fans upset? Did somebody get left off the roster that they wanted?
Like the Phillies themselves, like Phillies players are mad because they've got a couple, you know, like relievers who they think deserve to be on or more deserving to be on there and all that kind of stuff. So Nick Castellanos was one of the guys who was sounding off, but he's like one of those guys who seems to sound off about everything.
I was just going to say that same thing. You know, Philly they have a relief pitcher on there, Zach Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your reliever. You don't have to have multiple relievers. You know, Milwaukee has 2 starting pitchers on the roster and a reliever. So they've got 3 pitchers on the staff, and it looks like 2 of them were additions later, if I'm reading this correctly. As a named as a replacement. So 2 out of the 3 were named as a replacement.
This guy's named as a replacement anyway, and he's actually replacing Matthew Boyd from the Cubs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he said he's not going to pitch, which makes sense.
Exactly.
I'm okay with that.
This is an exhibition game. And even, you know, like, especially since they changed the rule a few years back, which I'm glad that they did, that, you know, for home field advantage in the World Series, because I thought that was one of the dumbest things that they did. Mm-hmm. This is an exhibition game. Right. So, like, I realize some of these guys have bonuses on the line and all that kind of stuff. Major League Baseball needs to have its best young guys out there in this game, if possible, if they're deserving enough. And this guy is deserving enough. And like Mark says, same as Paul Skeens last year. You know, he didn't have that much actual experience, but he was far and away one of the best pitchers in the game last year. Why wouldn't you have him in the All-Star game? So I've got no problem with it. It's an exhibition game. You know, it's like you tune in, you see your guys, you have fun. No reason to leave him off the roster just because he, you know, might not have that much experience.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Have you seen any of the Netflix quarterback docuseries, the newest
one? Watched the whole thing.
Oh, have you? So you know what I'm about to talk about.
I watched the entire thing, and I watched it like when I was on the plane and in my hotel room, like at night, we're trying to wind down, you know what I mean? Because the kids were arguing about what to watch on TV. I was like, I watch what I want to watch. And they calmed down and went to bed. So it was great. I watched the whole thing.
Okay, so they're following Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
This was they followed them last season,
Right.
and now they're airing.
I wish they would come out with it a little bit earlier, but they always wait until the beginning of the season. And frankly, I don't remember what happens. Maybe that's why it's good, because like I don't remember what happens week to week because it was last year. But anyway.
Exactly. So Cousins reveals, I think it was episode 3. That's how many I've seen so far. I've seen 3.
Okay.
The first 3 episodes. He gets his haircut at Great Clips.
Love that.
Pulls out the Great Clips app, and like he can always get in.
And he explained why he does it.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
You see how long the wait time is on the app, and if it's less than 15 minutes, he gets himself on the wait list. He drives there, and then he walks in, and he's ready to get his hair.
And he shows them a picture of himself and says, "I want this."
Right. Took a screenshot from the Falcons website. It's like, this is what I want.
This is great.
And I don't know if you heard this, but Great Clips saw, like everybody else, Great Clips found out about it, because like I'm watching it and I'm like, is
this product placement?
Great Clips? Like, yeah, is this like a product placement thing? What exactly is going on? He was not being paid for any of his Great Clips stuff, but Great Clips saw it and they gave him what they call a Hall of Fade card. So now he gets haircuts free for the rest of his life at Great Clips for all that free advertising. My question, Vince, do you buy or sell a professional athlete going to Great Clips or any other chain haircutting outlet?
I think it's awesome. He explained why he does it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. He's like, I'm all over the country, and there's Great Clips all over the country. He's like, I can go in. I know I'm going to get the same cut every time. He goes, I show him the picture, and it's inexpensive. Like, there's people that pay for a men's haircut like $100. It's ridiculous. I don't care if you're making millions.
That's a bit much. But like when I was still like going to get my haircut, you go to a barber, because like a barber, no offense, to any of the females out there. Like I've tried some of these places. I don't know if I tried Great Clips, but there's like the Sports Clips and these other chain.
Yeah, those are too expensive.
Places.
I don't go there.
Well, they're like, I feel like I want to, like you're a dude. You need to go sit where a man can cut your hair in a barber shop properly. That's where you need to go. That's where you need to go. Corey says Great Clips is great. I don't think I've ever been there. Like, how much is a Great Clips cut? Do you know?
$20.
20?
Mm-hmm.
So
and there's coupons.
It's not unreasonable. I agree.
Every time.
I agree with like what you're saying, like celebrity barbers and stuff. And I know that people are in love with a celebrity barber here in town, so I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
Well, look, those kids aren't paying for that either. Those kids aren't paying for their haircut. All right. If you want to bring in a celebrity barber to cut my hair for free, let's go. But I use Great Clips, Sean Stiers. That's where I go every single time. I go to Great Clips, and I love the check-in app. I love it. You just check in, tells you how much time you got. You go off and do your own thing. You show up, ba-ba-boom, bada-bing. You're not waiting around.
See, this is the thing that Coach Vic, I don't trust those kind of places with my hair. I think you need a barber shop. You go to the same barber time after time for your satisfaction.
I get the same haircut every time.
Apparently
it's really hard to screw up. It's hard to screw up what I get done.
Do you take a screenshot of yourself and show them?
But they have I forget what they call it. They got some sort of name for it. They type in what you get done, and it's in their system, and it comes up automatically. And so they're like, okay, do you want to do blah, 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 that you did last time? I'm like, yes, I do. And
my wife actually tried that with my daughter a couple of times because she has curly hair and it's unique and like the way it has to be cut. And all those notes were in there. And she went in one time, like it was actually the last time she did it a few months. She hasn't been back since. Young, relatively new, I believe, person who basically stood there for like 10 minutes, kind of like pecking at the hair and like not knowing, what to do in spite of the notes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get that. My hair's easy. Now, I will say I went to Great Clips and I had a gal that I've never had before. And she was pretty new and it did not go well. And
that's what I worry about. That's what I worry about at those kind of places.
I end up coming back the next day and they fixed it right up. Perfect, no charge.
Oh, that's nice.
I was happy. You know what I mean? So
you got like a Jerry Seinfeld.
It was awful.
But he went what was it, Giuseppeo or whatever his name was?
I think the kids call it a low taper fade. Like they told it like it was way too bushy in the back. Like it was. So I went back and the lady who redid it, she's like, yeah, she's new. And I was like, yeah, I could tell. Sweet girl, no doubt about it. But like they fixed me up, so I was good to go.
See, Mark says when he was at Notre Dame, they had an old school barber on campus known as ROTC Joe. And I see that, Mark, like me, doesn't have to worry much about who's cutting your hair these days. So anymore. I used to actually have, more hair where I did have to worry about that. And I forgot to slip this in before. Joseph was asking if we happened to watch Brian Kelly at SEC Media Days. He said the guy is just annoying, didn't say anything inflammatory. Hard to fathom he was at Notre Dame.
I may have to watch it.
I actually forgot to watch today. I'll have to see if I can go find the video.
I bet you it's on YouTube. You probably shouldn't have a problem finding that, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Gotta check that out.
All right, before we wrap up, we will circle back to the big announcement that we made at the start of the show for anyone who came in late, maybe didn't get the big announcement. But the big news that we've been teasing for so long is that beginning 1 week from today, Monday, July 21st, this show, IB Nation Sports Talk, with me, Vince, and Jesse, and Brian also contributing once a week. Mm-hmm. This show is still going to be on the YouTube channel here. It is still going to be on the Irish Breakdown podcast platform, but we are also going to be broadcasting this show live on WSBT Radio in South Bend. We will, again, we'll have the YouTube feed, but you can hear us on 960 AM in South Bend and 106.1 FM in Southern Michigan. So IB Nation Sports Talk, as of next week, is going to become IB Nation Sports Beat, and on the air, where it's known as Budweiser's Weekday Sports Beat. So that is the big announcement. We're taking the show to the radio as of 1 week from today. We're all very excited about it.
100%. Very excited about it. Yeah, baby. Very excited about it. Going back to the roots. Going to be doing some radio now. Very excited about it. Try to grow that local audience up a little bit more. And I think we're going to reach a lot of different people that we don't currently reach, which is fun. So, very excited about it.
Brian Driscoll is going to come on once a week and do a recruiting segment with me, just like we used to do back when I was doing the radio show back in the day. And appreciate everyone with the nice words and looking forward to it. 1 week from today, we're almost there. It's going to happen.
It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait.
Yep. So starting next week, you'll see me back in the old radio studio.
That's right.
Again, like nothing is going to change for you from a YouTube perspective. You'll still be able to watch the show live on YouTube, and that was part of the draw from the radio station was having the opportunity to do that. Michael says T-shirts.
No, might have to think about that.
We have to get that cooking. That's not bad. It's not a bad idea.
Thanks, Don. Should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and I definitely want to get into the studio a couple times for sure. But we'll see how schedules lie and all that kind of stuff. Because of course we're coming up to fall.
I know.
It's just a crazy busy time anyway. So
by the time that happens, you're not going to be wanting to get into this.
I know, right? So. Seriously, because the studio's not close to the house.
That's true.
The new I say new location. It's been there for like 4 years now. But the location prior was so much closer. Much closer. But hey, c'est la vie. What can you do?
Yep. All right, well, that's going to do it. We'll wrap it up with that. We'll be back tomorrow. And again, we've got a Notre Dame women's basketball guest coming up on tomorrow's show. So looking forward to that. We will talk to you then. Hit that like button before you leave. Oh, you know what? While I'm thinking about it, should I do this? I think I'll do this. So I'm going to put this in the chat. This is the link to the WSBT, the new YouTube channel.
Got to get over there.
And this comes with the blessing of Brian. If you would, we would really appreciate it if you help us build WSBT's, the radio's new YouTube channel. If you would subscribe over there, because one difference, probably the only difference, is like right now, after this show is done live, we post the rapid fire video on our YouTube channel. Starting next week, all the rapid fire YouTube videos from this show are going to be on the WSBT radio station's YouTube channel. And so we're trying to grow that. Coach Vic, much appreciated. So, so if you would help us out, subscribe to that channel, and there'll be, like I said, we'll put some of this content. And there'll actually be some unique content once the football season starts as well that we'll put up. There'll be like some Notre Dame football player interviews that they do on Saturdays and stuff like that on one of the other shows. So much appreciated if you would give that a follow. Again, I put it up there, the WSBT Sports Radio WSBT YouTube channel. There are some imitators, so make sure that you follow this link. There are some other channels up there, and we're trying to weed some of those out and get rid of them. So we need you to follow that link.
And I can't find it. You're going to have to text me the link so I can actually get to it, because ever I put it in, I think I'm finding the imitator.
Yeah. There's more than one, unfortunately. Yeah. All right, hit the like button before you leave, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on IB Nation Sports Talk.